guys, and welcome back to Couch Critics. I'm Lamia.
And I'm Ruby, and today we are reviewing La La Land, aka my
Yes.
favorite movie ever.
AKA Ruby's personal Elvis.
Yes, exactly.
So, do you want to do the synopsis?
Yes, so La La Land is this movie about an actress living in California who wanted to be a lawyer, but who was on her way to become a lawyer, but who decided she wanted to be an actress. And she meets this musician named Sebastian, who is obsessed with jazz. And when they meet, they slowly start falling in love with each other. And basically, it's about how their career unravels. Sebastian ends up playing in a band that becomes very successful, and Mia ends up auditioning and auditioning without getting any role until, spoiler alert, the ending of the movie where she gets a role in Paris, and there she just has to leave Sebastian and go become an actress. So,
And the role of Mia, the actress, is played by Emma Stone, and Sebastian is played by Ryan Gosling, aka our favorite Canadian Ryan.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If you watched our Deadpool review, you would get the reference.
You would get who's not our favorite Ryan, Canadian Ryan.
Yeah, and it's also a Damien Chazelle movie.
Yes.
Incredible director. He has 3 movies, I think.
He has 4.
Okay.
One of them is about space, I think. I'll insert the name.
Okay.
But he did Whiplash, he did Babylon,
Yeah.
which is my favorite Damien Chazelle movie. And yeah, I really like the way that he does the work that he does, and also I feel like his movies are very different
Yes.
from each other.
Yeah.
Like you could still see his signature on the movies, whether it's when you look at the colors or like even the characters or the themes of the movies, which are always related to art and
Ambition,
Hollywood.
career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And passion towards a certain craft. But yeah.
I think also what I really like about his signature is the way that all of his movies are about, like, they somehow have music, like the music plays a huge role in his movies, but it's never the same way. Whiplash is about a professional drummer, La La Land is a musical, and Babylon wasn't really about music, but the music was was so powerful. It was like like a character of its own, and the soundtracks are always incredible. So yeah.
I really, my favorite one was Babylon when it comes to the music. It was very original and it was very flashy, just like La La Land in terms of colors. It's very, very colorful, which is very daring, I'd say. Like, it's not something that you see nowadays in like most of the movies. They're pretty bland, or like you could notice the same colors throughout the entire movie. But when it comes to La La Land or Babylon, it's very, very flashy. And I heard people remember the last scene in Babylon when like Miguel is like in a movie theater and you just start to see so many random things happening all at once. A lot of people didn't like that scene, but I loved it. I feel like it showed the evolution of cinema throughout the years.
Yeah, I feel like everything Damien Chazelle does is an homage to cinema, movies. La La Land is an homage to Hollywood. There's so many references from previous movies, and I just love it so much because it's like a history lesson, but we don't realize it. So yeah, talking about the colors, I loved in La La Land how the colors change throughout the movie. It's very bright in the beginning, and the further Mia and Sebastian get from each other, the darker the colors get, and that's the beauty of hiring specialists in movies, because Damien Chazelle works with such great musicians and with great videographers, and I think he works with the same videographer in all of his movies, and you can see how professional it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, the writing is outstanding. One of my favorites monologues ever is the one that Emma Stone delivers about how frustrating it is to be an actress nowadays, and just to be hopeful and just be clueless and not know whether the path that you choose is the right one. And it's something that we've just been talking about like a few minutes ago.
Exactly.
About how what if the perhaps is not your grade perhaps is not the right thing, and how would you know that, and should you give up on your dreams and be more realistic, or should you just like choose your dreams because you only live once? And I feel like it's literally the biggest struggle of anyone in their
Yeah.
20s.
It's the 20s dilemma. It's
Yeah.
basically what everybody I think struggles with. That monologue, I know it by heart. I used it for an audition and I love it so much. Yeah, it's a great script. And it's a great I feel like this movie has such a deep meaning.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was sick this week, so I'm a bit struggling with talking, but we're doing fine. But yeah, it has such a deep meaning and it just makes you think. It's one of those movies that really makes you think. And I remember every time I watch it with like a family member or a friend, everybody asks me, so Ruby, what would you choose? Like, is it career or love life? And I think that this is also the main point of the movie. It's
Mhm.
because like at some point Mia had the chance to choose between her career and her love life, and you see her choosing her career, which
Yeah.
I personally think you can have both. I don't think it's fair to choose, but yeah, what would you choose? Would you go for career or love?
I feel like whatever you choose, you're right, or and whatever you choose, you're wrong. Cause like it's very singular. Like
Yeah,
it just differs from one person to another, and it
yeah,
differs from one situation to another. I don't know. Like I totally get. Like when they showed in the movie when Ryan Gosling started to imagine what his life would have been like if he dated Mia, and like he just supported her career and gave up on becoming a musician, if
yeah,
I'm remembering
yeah,
everything
yeah, yeah.
right. I feel like it did not look that bad,
No,
but also like him choosing to become a musician did not look that bad either. So I feel like the best choice is the one that you would regret the least,
yeah,
because you're always going to wonder about what if, but you just need to live with not a lot of regrets. And I feel, and the way that I see life in general, like for me, the point of living is to do it as authentically as possible. And that's very hard, because like everyone is trying to normalize, to reassure themselves, and by reassuring themselves they need to make sure that you're following the same path, or like not that much of a different path, because it's not normal. So you really have to be bold and very and delusionally confident in order to make something different, and to
yeah,
aspire, just
yeah.
literally aspire without even doing something great. I don't know if what I'm rambling makes any
No, it
sense.
does. I
But
mean,
yeah.
there's not much room
Yeah.
for innovation when you're doing what's expected.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do get your point. I also think there's no ultimate choice. I feel like people choose different things at different time. Like when Mia went to Paris, she chose her career, but later on she chose love, and that's why she ended up getting
Mhm.
married and having a kid. That might not have been
Yeah.
Sebastian, but I'm pretty sure she was in love with that person she ended up marrying.
Totally.
It's just a different kind of love. And yeah.
That makes me think of when I read Shonda Rhimes' book, A Year of Yes. Shonda
Okay.
Rhimes is the creator of How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, and Grey's Anatomy. She said that whenever people ask her how does she do everything at the same time? How is she one of the biggest show producers in Hollywood? How is she a good mother? And how is she like attending all of these cool events and being like this Wonder Woman? Her answer was like, whenever you see me um, being great at something, that means that I'm not so great at the other things. So
Hmm.
it's just a matter of timing. And that's
Yeah,
very realistic, I find.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. I feel like if you want to do something well, you have to give it your 100%, which means you're just gonna not
Mhm.
focus on other aspects. And it's good because I mean, life is could be very long, and if you divide it into different phases and parts, you can focus on many things. You're just not
Yeah.
gonna get everything at the same time, and that's nice. That's reassuring.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And
So La La Land.
La La Land.
Do you remember how you felt when you watched the ending?
Honestly, like, to be honest, you're not gonna like my answer, but like I did not like La La Land when I first watched it,
Okay.
because I was very impacted by Whiplash, which is much darker and much more serious.
Yeah.
And so like when I watched La La Land, I was comparing it to Whiplash, and it made me not enjoy it
Okay.
as much as I should. But I really want to watch it again with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, please. I made my mother watch it and my 9-year-old brother when I
Mhm.
was in Lebanon visiting, and they were just so shocked. My mom was like, Ruby, is that like, do you find that okay that like she didn't end up with the love of her life? And I'm like, yeah, sometimes that's life. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was very funny.
How did you feel when you watched it for the first time?
I don't really remember. I remember I was heartbroken, and I remember that I watched it like 3 times in a row in the same
Okay.
weekend. I was obsessed with it. I watched it very late. I watched it in 2020.
Okay.
It came out in 2016. I had heard about it so much,
Hmm.
and I was actually shocked when I realized it was a musical. It was not what I expected at all. I don't know. I don't remember what I was expecting, but I just remembered that it was not what I expected. But yeah, I
And
loved it.
you do love musicals.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for musicals. I love them so much. Hamilton, In the Heights,
Hmm.
any kind of musical, whether it's Broadway or on screen, it's just I love them so much.
Also, it's very surprising for me that Emma Stone is such a great singer.
Yes.
Like, I was thinking about this morning, and then I realized that she literally was in Broadway and the Cabaret musical,
Oh,
which is my favorite
I think
theater
that's how
piece.
Damien Chazelle discovered her. It's from
Really?
this Broadway,
From
yes.
Cabaret?
Yeah.
You need to check Cabaret, it's really
Okay.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
I think Emma Watson was another person who could have been Mia in the movie, but then
I. Mm, I really liked Emma Stone.
yeah.
Um, honestly, like I haven't watched Harry Potter,
Okay.
and so I haven't seen anything that Watson has been in, and I like. Did she do anything besides Harry Potter?
Yeah, The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
also was in this Sofia Coppola movie, The Blink Ring something.
Haven't watched
It's
it.
a real story about people who sneak into celebrities' houses and they steal
Oh.
stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's giving me Once Upon a Time in Hollywood vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more modern, let's
Okay.
say.
Yeah, it's not Quentin Tarantino, that's for sure. I
No.
mean, Sofia Coppola and Quentin, two different genres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I do think Emma Stone was the best fit for that movie, and
Mhm.
I love the chemistry between Emma and Ryan. They did
Yeah.
2 movies together. They also did Crazy Stupid Love, which is a comedy. I love
Okay.
it. It's hilarious.
Haven't seen it.
It's so light and funny. It's great. I don't know what else they were in together. I think there was a third movie. I just don't
I think
remember.
so too, but I can't remember.
Yeah. I always thought that Crazy Stupid Love was the parallel universe if Emma Stone did not end up being an actor because in that movie she's a law
Mhm.
student
Yeah.
and it's also in California. So I'm like, what if they would have met regardless, even if she wasn't an actress, and they would have met into different consequences. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's so nice when you see actors playing together in different movies because then you're like, maybe that's still the same characters who just made different choices.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like speaking of choices, I feel like it's very healthy to see someone who chooses their career because I feel like
Yeah.
in most movies that we watch, especially rom-coms, like they always end up choosing each other, which I don't think is healthy because like if like loving someone shouldn't
Stop
stop
you.
you from chasing your
Yeah.
dreams because if it does, it's just right person, wrong timing, which is not right. But
Yeah.
again, that's just a very personal opinion.
I don't believe in the right person, wrong timing. I think if it's
Yeah,
the wrong timing, it's the wrong person. It's just,
totally.
but I do think, and I was thinking about this earlier today, I think that people change and sometimes they can go from being the wrong person to the right person. So maybe that's what the wrong timing is because
Mhm.
I don't think the person stays the same all their life. And maybe this is why we think right person, wrong timing. But also, I think that because sometimes, like, I don't know, in so many movies, we see them in the future and they're like, oh, what ifs and what if, but I feel like if people stay together, they wouldn't evolve into being the right person, because
Especially
then,
in at such a young age.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do think there were Mia and Sebastian were each other's soulmate, and I'm not sad seeing them not being together because I think that even though they didn't end up together, they did have such a good time
Hmm.
when they were together, and I think that's the most important.
I feel like they were together at the right time. And I
Yeah,
don't think that every story should end with a forever. Like
yeah,
some people are just in your life sometimes for that special period, and like if they stay longer, it would ruin the entire relationship that you had. So maybe it's also like this question of like, would you rather be with someone for an amount of time and have this beautiful story, or be with someone forever but like lose the spark and just like keep on dragging this relationship? And I feel like it's brave to end things and to just like keep a good memory of someone.
yeah.
Yeah.
That got deep. I love it. This is why I love La La Land. Always
I
makes you
want
think.
to watch it.
Yeah, we should. We should watch it again.
Yeah.
I watch it like 3 times per year minimum. Like I need to watch it every. I don't know. I love it so much. La La Land.
Is there
Um,
anything that you want to add?
I feel like I could talk so much about it, but I'm gonna leave it there. It's one of my favorite movies. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a great acting, great music, great cinematography, and great script. So yeah,
Thank you
let us.
guys for watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Yes, see you guys next Sunday.